Imagine your mind is like a radio stuck on a single looping track of worry. This isn't just a fleeting concern, it's a loud, demanding thought that drowns out everything else. It could be a fear you've left the stove on, a disturbing image, or a need for things to be perfectly symmetrical. This internal noise is relentless, following you from the moment you wake up until you fall asleep. This is the daily reality for someone with obsessive-compulsive disorder, or OCD. Obsessions create a profound sense of anxiety and dread, feeling urgent and real. Your logical mind knows the fear is irrational, but emotionally, the danger feels imminent. To quiet this mental static, people with OCD perform rituals, compulsions. It might look like checking the stove 20 times, washing hands until they're raw, or arranging objects just so. These actions bring only brief relief before the obsessive thought returns, often louder. This cycle traps people in constant vigilance and fear, shrinking their world and making them avoid triggers. Relationships suffer, work and school performance decline, and isolation sets in. What starts as a small, intrusive thought can grow to dominate every aspect of life. Understanding this struggle is the first step toward breaking free. So, what exactly is obsessive-compulsive disorder? OCD is a mental health condition with two core components, obsessions and compulsions. It's more than being tidy or double-checking the door. These thoughts and behaviors are time-consuming and disruptive. Obsessions are unwanted, intrusive thoughts or urges that cause intense anxiety. Common obsessions include fears of contamination, harming others, or needing things to be just right. Compulsions are repetitive behaviors or mental acts performed to reduce anxiety or prevent a dreaded event. Examples include excessive hand-washing, checking, or silent rituals like counting. Performing compulsions brings only temporary relief and actually strengthens the obsession. This creates a vicious cycle. Obsession triggers anxiety, compulsion relieves it briefly, and the obsession returns stronger. Breaking this cycle is the central goal of treatment, and it's absolutely possible. If you're struggling with OCD, you're not alone. OCD affects people of all ages, backgrounds, and cultures. According to the World Health Organization, OCD is among the top causes of disability worldwide for people aged 15 to 44. About 1 to 2% of the population will experience OCD at some point. In the US alone, that's over 3 million adults, plus many children and teens. OCD impacts not just individuals, but families and communities, straining relationships and daily life. The financial and emotional toll can be significant. Raising awareness and providing effective treatment is a public health priority. Understanding OCD's prevalence helps reduce stigma and shame. Millions have walked this path and found recovery. You are part of a large, supportive community. Why does OCD happen? It's not your fault. OCD is a neurobiological disorder. Differences in brain function and structure play a key role. Brain imaging shows hyperactivity in certain areas, like the orbitofrontal cortex, which acts as an error detector. In OCD, this system sends constant false alarms, creating a stuck communication loop. The anterior cingulate cortex amplifies anxiety, and the striatum drives compulsive behaviors. Normally, this loop shuts off, but in OCD, the all-clear signal doesn't get through. Neurotransmitters, especially serotonin, are also involved. Disruptions in serotonin contribute to the communication breakdown. That's why medications that boost serotonin, like SSRIs, can help turn down the brain's false alarms. Brain circuitry is only part of the story. Genetics and environment matter too. OCD often runs in families, and twin studies show a strong genetic link. There's no single OCD gene. Multiple genes each add a small risk. Genes may make the brain more sensitive to stress or rigid behaviors, but genetics aren't destiny. Environmental factors play a big role. Stressful or traumatic events like loss or major life changes can trigger OCD in those who are vulnerable. In some children, a strep infection can cause sudden OCD symptoms, a condition called PANDAS. Even learned behaviors, like growing up in a home with strict cleanliness, can influence how OCD develops. It's a complex puzzle of nature and nurture. Understanding this removes blame and highlights the need for compassion. Treatment can help no matter the cause. The good news is OCD is highly treatable. The goal isn't to eliminate every intrusive thought, but to change your relationship with them. The gold standard is exposure and response prevention, or ERP, a type of cognitive behavioral therapy. ERP means gradually facing your fears without performing compulsions, teaching your brain that anxiety fades on its own. Medication, especially SSRIs, can also help by regulating serotonin and calming overactive brain circuits. For many, combining ERP and medication is most effective. Newer therapies like acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, use mindfulness to help you accept thoughts without getting stuck. These approaches help you build a meaningful life alongside OCD, not in spite of it. Recovery is possible with the right support. Let's dive into ERP, the cornerstone of OCD treatment. ERP empowers you to break the link between obsessions and compulsions. Exposure means gradually facing the thoughts or situations that trigger anxiety, starting with easier challenges and working up. For example, someone with contamination fears might start by touching a doorknob, then progress to more difficult exposures. Response prevention means resisting the urge to perform the usual ritual. At first, anxiety spikes, but if you don't do the compulsion, the anxiety fades on its own. This process, called habituation, teaches your brain that the feared outcome doesn't happen. Each ERP exercise weakens OCD's grip. With practice and support, obsessions lose their power and compulsions diminish. ERP is hard work, but it leads to lasting change and freedom. ERP is powerful, but a full treatment plan often includes medication and support. SSRIs can reduce obsessive thoughts and anxiety, making therapy more manageable. Medications take time, sometimes up to 12 weeks, to reach full effect, and finding the right dose may require patience. If SSRIs aren't enough, other medications can be added. Support groups, both in person and online, offer connection and hope. Sharing experiences with others who understand can be incredibly validating. Self-care matters too. Regular exercise, good sleep, balanced nutrition, and mindfulness all support recovery. These habits don't replace therapy or medication, but they strengthen your foundation. Recovery is a team effort. Professional help, community, and self-care all play a role. Living with OCD is tough, but recovery is possible. OCD is a treatable medical condition, not a life sentence. Taking the first step to seek help is an act of courage. OCD is a brain-based disorder, not your fault, and you're not alone. Treatment, ERP, medication, and supportive therapies can break the cycle. Consider the story of a young woman once housebound by contamination fears. Through ERP, she gradually faced her fears, reclaimed her life, and now helps others. Her journey shows the power of treatment and resilience. If you or someone you love is struggling, reach out to a doctor, therapist, or support group. Recovery isn't about becoming someone else, it's about reclaiming your life and values. The path forward starts with a single step. Take that step today. Resources: International OCD Foundation, iocdf.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI.org, Anxiety and Depression Association of America, ADA.org. For immediate help, SAMHSA National Helpline, 1-800-662-HELP.